Hi, third grade. All right, our third lesson, our last lesson for this week. And then next week we'll just have one lesson, and then we'll be finished with Module 5. And we can, when we come back from break, we can move on to Module 6. So we're moving right along. So this is our last lesson for this week. It's Module 5, Lesson 6. We're going to be using place value strategies to multiply with multiples of 10. So you'll be able to use place value to find a product when one factor is a multiple of 10. So we're going to first start with Alex, and he's swimming 30 minutes each day for 5 days. Jed swims 160 minutes during those same 5 days. Who spends more time swimming? So Alex, we don't know his total. We just know that he spends 30 minutes each day for 5 days. We know Jed's total. Jed swims 160 minutes total during the same 5 days. So we need to figure out how many minutes Alex swims. So we have Alex, and we know that he swims 30 minutes each day, and it's for 5 days. So what is our multiplication problem? Our multiplication problem is 5 times 30. Every 5 days, for every day for 5 days, he swims for 30 minutes. So 5 times 30. So we could use a multiple of 10 to help us solve this problem. So 5 times 30 equals 5 times, how many tens do we have? We have 3 tens, so 3 times 10. 3 times 10 is the same as 30. So I could move my parentheses, right? So my parentheses could now go around the 5 times the 3 and then have a 10. Or I could say I have 5 groups of 3 times 10, right? There's lots of different ways that I could solve this. We're just going to pick one way that we want to do it. So if I know that 5 times 3, let's see, we've got 5, 10, 15. 5 times 3 is 15. So then I want to do 15 times 10. So if I count by 15 10 times, I'm going to get 150. I'm basically moving over one place value. So my 5 in my ones place now moves to my tens place, and my 1 in my tens place now moves to my hundreds place, and then I have a 0 in the tens. So I just basically put a 0 at the end of my number whenever I'm multiplying by 10. So 15 times 10 is 15 times 1, and then you put a 0 in the ones place to make it 150. So who swims more, Jed or Alex? Well, Jed swims 60 minutes and Alex swims 150 minutes. So Jed swims more than Alex in a week, or in that same 5-day period. Could be different weeks, but in that period of time. Okay. Next page, 128. So, Olivia practices the violin 3 days each week. Each practice session lasts 40 minutes. How many minutes does Olivia practice each week? So we know she practices 3 days every week, and she practices for 40 minutes. So we want to know how much she practices every week. So we know that she practices 40 times 3, right? And they want us to use groups of tens to show Olivia's practice time. Well, we know that we have 40, right? So I'm going to use my 10 blocks, my base 10 blocks, and I need 40 of them. And then how many groups of my 40 do I need? I need 3 groups of 40. So I've got my base 10 blocks here, so I'm going to do 3 groups of 40. So they're called longs, if you remember that from the 2nd grade. So I have my 3 groups of 40. So how could we write 40 as a group of tens? Well, we know that 40 as a group of tens is how many tens? We have 4 tens. So to use place values, we just drew our picture, right? We could have 40 is 4 tens. Then multiply by 3. So how many groups of 10 do I have up here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 groups of 10. So that tells me that I have 12 groups of 10. So what are 12 groups of 10? 12 groups of 10 is the same as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So 12 tens is the same as 120. Notice tens, you need a 0 in the ones place, right? So 12 tens is the same as 120. So 12 groups of 10 equals 120. So it's just like when I was telling you on the last one. You multiply, you're going to multiply your 4 times your 3. We get 12, and then you're going to put a 0 on the end. So how many minutes a week does Olivia practice? 120 minutes. So how does the visual representation you made above compare to the product you found using the place values? Well, we just wrote it up here. 12 tens equals 120. 12 tens is the same as 120. All right, page 129. Aubrey attends dance practice 3 days a week. Each dance practice lasts 30 minutes. For how many minutes does Aubrey attend dance practice each week? So we've got 3 days every week, and she's at for 30 minutes on each of those days. So we know that this is going to be 3 times 30 is our multiplication problem. So we're going to write 30 as a multiple of 10. Okay? So 30 is 3 times 10. So how many tens do we have in 30? We have 3 tens in 30. So we're going to write a multiplication equation for the problem to show multiplying with tens. So we're going to use the word tens as like a label. Okay? So we're going to have 3 times 3 tens. 3 times 30 is exactly the same thing as 3 times 3 tens. I took my 30 and I renamed it 3 tens. So let's just think of this as 3 times 3. What is 3 times 3? Count by threes 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 times 3 tens is 9 tens. 9 tens is the same as 90. So Aubrey attends dance practice for 90 minutes. Because if I were to draw out 9 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sorry, 9. I was just, kept going. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I have 90, right? 9 tens is 90. So instead of drawing this picture, I just need to think in my brain that tens, right, equals putting a 0 on the end. 9 tens is 90. All right, so check for understanding. Kenny walks his dog 4 days a week. Each walk lasts 20 minutes. How many minutes does Kenny walk his dog? So we've got 4 days every week for 20 minutes every day. So this would be 20 times 4. So let's think of our 20 as 2 tens times 4, right? Those are 2 tens, 2 groups of 10. What is 2 times 4? 2 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 8 tens. 8 tens is the same as, if I have 8 tens, I have 80. Eight tens equals 80. All right, use place value to find the number of tens and find the product. Product means find the answer. So 7 times 6 equals 7 times, how many tens do we have? we have 6 tens. 7 times 6 equals, should start memorizing these multiplication facts. I did change your reflex math that you should be getting your green light every day on to multiplication. So hopefully you're starting to memorize these. Plus you have multiplication facts to practice at home. So I really need you to practice those every day because these you need to memorize. So 7 times 6 equals 42. So we have 420 tens. 42 tens, right, is the same as, you put the 0 on the end, same as 420. All right, 50 times 7. How many tens do we have? We have 5 tens. 5 tens times 7. What's 5 times 7? Count by fives. 7 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 35 tens is the same as 350. 35 tens is 350. Okay, our last page. Ooh, quick smart the camera. Bill finds the product 6 times 80 and Jose finds the product 5 times 90. Bill says his product has a greater number of tens than Jose's product. Is Bill correct? Well, let's see who has more tens. We have Bill. So he has 6 times 80, which is the same as 6 times 8 tens. So what is 6 times 8? Count by 6, 8 times. If you need to draw a picture, go ahead. Or you could use your multiplication fact sheet, or you could use your multiplication cards. So 6 times 8 is 48. So you have 48 tens. 48 tens is the same as 480. Jose has 50 times 9. How many tens are in 50? We have 5 tens times 9. What's 5 times 9? 45 tens, which is the same as 450. So who has more tens? Bill has more tens. So that would be Bill. All right, use place value to find the number of tens and then find the product. So 3 times 20 equals 3 times how many tens? 3 times 2 tens. 3 times 2 tens. What's 3 times 2? 2, 4, 6. 6 tens. 6 tens is the same as 60. Put that 0 at the end. 50 times 2. How many tens do I have? 5 tens times 2. What's 5 times 2? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 times 2 is 10, so I have 10 tens. So count by 10, 10 times. 10 tens is 100, or a 10 with a 0 on the end. And our last problem, we have a giant sequoia tree, and it grows an average of 2 feet a year. Almost all of that growth occurs in the warm months of the year. During fall, only the tree's roots keep growing. That's really cool. I would love to see the sequoias someday. They're beautiful. If a ranger plants a sequoia 1 year, by how many feet will its height increase after 40 years? So we have 40 years, and we know that it increases 2 feet every year. So our multiplication problem is 2 times 40. So that's the same as 2 times how many tens? 2 times 4 tens. 2 times 4 equals 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 8 tens. 8 tens is the same as 80. So it grows 80, and my label is feet. 80 feet after 40 years. That is huge. Look at, you could drive a car through it. Isn't that amazing? And some you can. They have them set so you can. Pretty awesome. Okay, so for your independent work, you're going to do lesson 5.3. going to have you do the whole thing. And please make a copy of the front and the back, take a picture of it and send it to me, or just drop it off at school. I really need papers returned to me, Mr. Trevor, so that way I can grade them. All right, I will see you guys next week. Bye.